Hi everybody, this is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Today we're talking about kale, and I have a list of tips and ideas to help you out for when you're using kale. 1 pound of fresh kale will give you about 12 cups of chopped kale or 3 cups cooked. When you're making dishes that call for raw kale like salads, it's helpful to know that the smaller leaves are going to be a lot more tender than the larger leaves. So bear that in mind when you're buying them. If you want them more tender, buy the smaller leaves if you can find them. If you want to tenderize and maybe reduce the bitterness in kale just a little bit, very quickly blanch it in boiling, lightly salted water before you go to use it. Now that doesn't mean boiling it to death. It means putting it in there, setting a timer for maybe 30 seconds, and then draining it off and then chilling it down really fast, and that will stop the cooking process, and then it won't be overly cooked, but just a little bit, and help to soften it up some. Another way to soften tough kale leaves, especially when you're going to use them in a salad, is to massage them first. Rub them with your hands, preferably with just a little bit of oil in there, and that will help to break them down a good bit. Now, if you don't want to use oil, you could use some cut up avocado, because that's very oily in itself, and just rub that on there. But especially if you're using avocado, you want to use it immediately, or that avocado is going to oxidize and it won't be very palatable. Try adding kale to soups and stews and smoothies and salads. It'll be a great nutritional boost and a flavor enhancer as well. When you're adding raw kale into salads, try slicing those leaves very thinly, making little ribbons out of them. They'll be a lot easier to eat that way. If you have frozen kale available, try to use it within 6 months, and that'll keep it from getting freezer burned. Here's a different way to try some kale. Braise your chopped kale with some chopped apples. And before serving it, drizzle it with just a little bit of balsamic vinegar, and then top it with some chopped toasted walnuts. Sounds really good. Try combining some lightly steamed chopped kale with pine nuts and feta cheese. Toss it with a little bit of whole grain pasta and a smidgen of olive oil, and it'll be good to go. If you've got kale in the refrigerator and you're getting ready to use it and you find it's gotten on the limp side, you can revive it by putting it in a pot or a bowl with some very cold water and allow it to soak for about 10 minutes or so. That will help to crisp it back up. For a nutritional boost, try adding some fresh kale to your favorite pesto. Now, if you like to add kale to smoothies and you have a little bit more than you can use and you're afraid that it's going to go bad, here's what you can do. Just blend it till it's smooth with a little bit of water in a high-speed blender, and then pour that mixture into ice cube trays and then freeze them. Once they're frozen, transfer them into a freezer container or bags, and then when you're ready to use them, you can add those ice cubes to smoothies. In place of regular ice cubes, you could even add it to soups or something like that if you wanted. Also, you could just try freezing some extra kale. You want to blanch it a little bit first before you do that, or buy it in the bags and from the grocery store, and then add it to smoothies, stir-fry, soups, pasta dishes. You can even add it to salads as a wilted green if you want to. It would be just as good that way. I do hope this helps you out. Let me know if you have any tips and ideas that you want to share with others. This is Judy at Judy in the Kitchen. Bye for now.